again, you tuned in to it's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to it's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. Man, you thought we was
So all them artificial man jokes,
we do it natural from the concrete
to a public standpoint.
real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to
To know the real, you just gotta listen.
wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to
Know the real.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, K Money, and in the building with me, my co-host Slash, Freddie G, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. You can find us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. Welcome, fellas, to another True Tuesday episode. Today, man, I thought we'd discuss this story that's been recently in the news where a judge was fatally shot by a county sheriff. The Letcher County Sheriff Sean M. Steins, age 43, who was responsible for pretty much protecting judges doing personal security. Was responsible for gunning down District Judge Kevin Mullins, who's 54, at the Letcher County Courthouse in Whitesburg, Kentucky. Now, this is a very small community, man, no more than 2,000 people, so it's one of those times where everybody knows everybody. Mm-hmm. And allegedly, the shooting occurred, well, it's not alleged, the shooting actually occurred in the judge's chambers. Wow. And
it was over an argument, which I'm not clear as to what the argument was about. But there are speculations that a deputy was accused of doing some wrong to a female. I'm not Slash. I believe you have.
Well, it says that, and this is according to CBS News. They're saying that this Kentucky sheriff, who demised this judge, was facing allegations of ignoring a deputy's abuse of a woman in the judge's chambers. So the sheriff obviously had deputies that was abusing a woman that was in somewhere associated with the judge's chambers.
Okay, so he was probably trying to get proceed with those allegations by obtaining proper documentation from the judge to possibly indict the deputy or press charges.
Yeah, and the judge was probably just brushing it off like, man, I don't have time for that or something, And I think the sheriff was really trying to get this deputy out of there because it was probably starting to be a problem for other deputies,
Well, as I said earlier, with this being a very small community and everybody knowing everybody, I'm reaching out on a limb here by saying, that this deputy could have been related to the judge, which is giving him a reason to ignore the charges, brought against him. We can all speculate as to why this sheriff would actually resort to these actions, which are very serious accusations. First-degree murder is what he's being charged with.
And you know what's crazy, K-Money? Soon as it happened, the man surrendered without incident.
I mean,
he probably dropped the gun and just said, "You know what? Come on."
First of all, you got to think. First of all, he's a cop, and so he knows how to comply with other law enforcement.
He put the gun down,
so he knows how to comply. But he already was prepared mentally for the consequences.
Right.
So that's kind of like you commit a crime. Joke commit a crime, be like, man, look, man, I'm gonna call the laws on myself, and I'll wait here for you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? Looking at the situation and how you just said, he just put the gun down, call the police on himself. Usually when people do that, it's out of a matter of respect. If you think about it, if you think about it, it's like, oh, no, you're not finna do that. I'm finna bust you. I'm gonna call the police on myself because you're not finna get away with that.
And if that was the mind frame of that deputy, of that sheriff, then he probably had every right.
Yeah, I think
to
about
do what he did.
I think about every movie, every TV show that people just do. They do that, kill the person that they think they should kill or off, and then they call the police. I think about what was the show that just went off? 6 seasons. Took place in L.A. Look, Idris Elba little boy. What's that?
Snowfall.
Snowfall.
Yeah.
Yeah, his mama when she killed that FBI agent, it was out of respect. It was and she
So
put the gun down.
That's your second time saying respect. So you saying that they have respect for the person that
No.
they're killing?
It's whatever the other person done to them, disrespected, because everything that lady, that officer, that CIA agent, he was disrespecting the mama. The mama was like, "Oh no, I'm finna kill you out of a matter of respect." You get what I'm saying? When people stay and say, you're not finna get away with that. I'm finna kill you, and then I'm gonna call the police on myself because you out of line.
When you're
just
using
out of
the
line.
word respect, you're using it in the context of, oh, you're gonna respect me. You're disrespecting me, so I'm gonna kill
in
you
your
for
actions. Yeah,
for disrespecting me.
Me.
You need to learn how to respect me.
So,
And so, well, of course, you're killing them. They ain't gonna
Yeah,
learn.
yeah,
So
because-
that's
yeah.
how you're using. I'm asking because K Money hears
I'm
you use
trying
the
to-
word respect, and we're trying to find out the context in which you're using the word respect. So you're using the word respect in the context of oh, you don't respect me, and so which means you're disrespecting me. So I'm gonna earn my respect from you by killing
you, right? Exactly. So maybe I can be respect, not just respect. Is
It sounds weird.
no. Listen, or you're not finna get away with what you're doing to me, which is still a form of respect. Whatever
Disrespect.
That's what I'm gonna say.
So it's
Another
not
form of
respect, it's disrespect.
Yeah, which is
Okay.
another form. Like, so whatever that judge did may felt disrespectful to that sheriff.
Sheriff.
You get what I'm saying? So that
it.
sheriff.
Now you're saying disrespect.
Yeah.
So it's not respect, it's disrespect.
Did I say respect? I'm
You were
sorry.
saying respect, 'cause
No,
that's
I'm
what
sorry.
threw me.
Disrespect. I should have said disrespect. My
Yeah.
bad. Good catch, Freddie G. My bad. Yeah. So it's probably disrespect for whatever he did, and some people just ain't finna go for it.
So again here, this is getting crazier and crazier because now, also according to CBS News, the deputy Steins, supposedly a lawsuit had been filed by two women. One of them who alleged that Steins forced her to have sex inside Mullen's chambers for 6 months
Sound like disrespect to
in
me?
exchange for staying out of jail. So that's part of the reason.
So Steins is the deputy.
Steins was disposed on Monday in a lawsuit filed by two women, one of who alleged that the deputy forced her to have sex inside Mullen's chamber for 6 months in exchange for staying out
So
of jail.
is Steins the sheriff?
That
He's the killer? Is he's the person that?
So
that
Steins is the,
the
deputy.
sheriff. No, Steins is the sheriff
Is
that
the
did
sheriff.
the shooting.
the sheriff?
Oh, so he did the shooting.
No, I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Who did
He's
the
saying
shooting?
that Steins did the shooting.
Steins is the name of the sheriff who shot the judge.
Steins is also the person that's in the lawsuit that the women said that he did something to. So Steins was wrong.
So Steins was trying to,
He killed a judge
because he was the one that was being accused
because
of
the
doing
judge
wrong.
was probably going to lock him up. Because if it got back to the judge,
Well, it got back to the judge. Apparently, they were arguing about it in the
if
chamber.
the judge probably was telling him, man, look, this is what's going to happen.
We have to do this.
We have to do this. You see what I'm saying? And from that point, Stein said, you know what? To hell with you. Boom. I'm going to kill you, but I'm going to go do my time. Now you got more time.
Yeah, you done fucked up even
killed
worse. Nah, I think I would have just took
You
those
know-
first charges.
But you know what, too? He probably looked at it from the standpoint of, we're in authority. We're supposed to stick together. You're the judge. I'm the sheriff. You're supposed to have my back.
Now, peep this part. The former deputy sheriff, Ben Fields, I think you mentioned him, K-Money, pleaded guilty to raping the female prisoner while she was on home incarceration. So these laws is doing a bunch of dumb
Dirty
shit.
stuff.
Well, again, this is a town that's small like Mayberry.
Yeah.
You know,
Mayberry. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not
so
like
less than
Mayberry.
2,000 people.
Wow.
So, I mean, you can imagine being in jail in a town this small is not like being in Harris County.
Now, this deputy sheriff was sentenced to 6 months in jail and then 6.5 years on probation for rape, sodomy, perjury, and tampering with prisoner monitoring device.
Now that seemed lenient for those charges. I would like
6 years.
Well,
Oh, that was on probation, though.
Yeah.
I mean, on house
yeah.
arrest or whatever.
So that seemed lenient for
It
all
is.
of those charges. So now I would like to know who was the sentencing judge. Was it the judge?
Yeah, Mullins.
Yeah.
It could have been Mullins.
If that's a small town, who was the sentencing judge?
Well, Fields was the bailiff for Mullins. And
They all friends.
yeah, they all friends. That's a
Like I
small
said,
town.
it's a small town, bro.
When it started, the lawsuit was filed back in
I'm
2022.
going another way, man. I'm starting to think one particular girl just has some real good coochie. I'm sorry. That's where I'm at with it. And they all fighting over one girl. This is where my head is. My CSI head. Don't worry about it.
This is the craziest story,
The town
man.
is so small. Butler, I mentioned Butler. Let me go back and see who Butler was. I think that was the judge that was shot. Yeah, he's actually related to a guy who had to recuse himself. The prosecutor,
Right.
He had to recuse himself because he and the judge, I think, married sisters, and they have kids that are first cousins. So you can imagine that it would be hard to try this trial,
Right.
or get a jury to try this trial with everybody knowing everybody, and then not, causing any type of impact on how people feel.
They're relocated.
Definitely,
Yeah,
they would
they're
have to try to.
relocated.
So when they relocate like that, they're picking jurors from where they relocate
yeah.
the trial.
Yeah.
And that's a must, in my opinion, in this case.
Yeah, they definitely have to go to another nearby, state or something to do that case, because it's not gonna work out right in that same, town. That's just it's not. It hasn't been going right so far, and it's crazy that you hear these things, because this is was this news that was. Did it come in through Houston, or is this just CBS News, just national?
No, this was
news?
national
This
news.
is national.
This was national news. That's how I originally heard it.
Wow.
I can't say it was CBS, but it was one of those national.
It was a national one.
And I'm getting a lot of information that I'm reading from CNN. So that says a lot about it as well. The Kentucky State Police had to get involved with the arrest and investigating the matter at hand.
Tennessee got a lot going on. That's Kentucky, right? Oh, you said Kentucky.
That's two different states.
Two different
Yeah,
states.
Tennessee.
I'm
yeah.
thinking Kentucky and Tennessee. I put them together. I just be like,
Yeah.
I always do. Yeah.
You out of there.
What's
Yeah.
going on in Tennessee, though, since you mentioned
Well, I mean,
Tennessee star with a T. Kentucky star with a K.
Well, that T was in the middle, and they both blue. So I'm even getting Kentucky. I'm so tripping. Tennessee had we had the black cop, and then later on they had remember the girl guy, the other situation with I can't remember how it went. We had a show on it.
You're talking about Tyree Nichols and the 5 or 4 black
Yeah.
officers
Yeah.
that beat him to death in Tennessee.
In Tennessee, yeah.
Now, how you get them black officers in Tennessee mixed up with these white people from Mayberry?
I didn't get them mixed up. I got the states mixed up. It's what I did. So I gotta go and
Tennessee
confess.
star with a T.
I'm confessing. I
So
got the
look,
states
I'm gonna
mixed up.
tell you who was the bad seed in this office. Ben Fields, because he was the one that got the charges for, and put on 6 years probation for the rape, sodomy, and perjury. But it was a second woman that he had something to do with, and they dismissed the charges on her because she was dead.
she was deceased.
She passed away.
She passed. Yeah.
Yeah, I do see two names: a Sabrina Atkins and a Jennifer Hill.
Yeah. So the second woman passed, and Fields was the one who had something to do with her.
Yeah, it say he's been charged with multiple felonies and misdemeanors, including rape, tampering, and monitoring. Tampering with the monitoring device.
I'm
he was
starting to
crooked.
understand now what we really going at here. So Fields was the bailiff for Mullins. Steins was trying to tell Mullins, man, Fields is tripping. You need to get Fields out of here. you already gave him 6 years for all this stuff he did to this one woman, and you drop these charges on that second woman. He wrong either way it goes. So what kind of courthouse are you holding here? Steins is probably like, man, come on, bro. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You letting this man get away with murder, but you locking up the townspeople for the same stuff and more time. I think Steins had the right idea. Not saying that what he did was justifiable. I'm not saying that he should have done what he did, but I think his mind frame was, oh man, this judge here is out of control. You letting this man get away with murder.
So just to backtrack, Steins is the sheriff that killed the judge.
That did the shooting.
Shot the judge. And Ben Fields is the deputy that these accusations were made up against, not made up against, but he was being charged with these allegations.
And he was the bailiff for the judge.
Right.
So that was his person in his courtroom.
And so the sheriff went in to confront the judge about the bailiff.
Right. Basically, the judge was allowing the bailiff to get away
with what he was doing.
Okay.
That's the understanding that I'm starting to get from this as we go through this story.
And that still doesn't make it right.
It doesn't. It doesn't justify Stein's actions.
Not at all. Again, if it was me, I feel like, I would have. Well, early I was thinking that Steins was being accused of these allegations, but as we went through the story a little later, it was found out that Fields is the one that was actually charged.
Now here's something to think about. You said it's a small town, right?
Right.
Very small.
Very small.
What's the population?
1700. Yeah.
Okay. Is it possible that the sheriff who did the shooting was related to the person who was raped?
It's very possible. It's
possible. Well, let me correct that. I don't mean, I shouldn't have said that R word, but is it possible that,
I mean, that's kind of something I said earlier. I thought the judge possibly was related to one of the victims, which is why, or I feel like there is relation somewhere down the line because it being a small town that they're trying to,
One of the girls was an actual prisoner in the jail.
Really?
Yes. That Fields did something.
They was tapping.
That's what I'm
telling
saying.
you, they was tapping. She had some good stuff. They all this is how I feel. She had that good country coochie, and only one wanted it.
This just shows you this just shows you, and no matter what field you in, people are too loosely with their actions in any setting. Because now I've heard stories before where the correction officers that work in the prisons,
they tapping.
Right, and vice versa. The prisoners are tapping. I knew
correctional officers personally, women and men.
Yeah, I knew one that told me that guys would try to get at her. Now she may have lied when she said she didn't do it.
Yeah, no, the one that didn't lie. She was a thought. She says, I get to see all the sizes and I get to pick. I said, God, girl, you just nasty.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So I mean, it happens. This is just one of those cases to where it was taken serious by one of the deputies. I mean, by the sheriff,
though,
because the sheriff is trying to protect his city. He's the sheriff.
Yeah.
How am I gonna let the judge and your bailiff commit these crimes right up under my nose?
Yeah, on his watch.
On his watch. That's how he's looking at that. And I understand, but it still doesn't justify. But he knew that there was no other way. I
feel that there was other ways because he could have got the state police involved just like they're involved now. True. After he did what he did.
And now he's got to suffer the consequences.
Now this may expose, some other things.
Some other stuff, yeah.
Through once the investigation continues, I'm sure some other things are going to surface. Mm-hmm. And obviously changes are going to have to be made in that small town. They definitely going to need to replace the judge and the sheriff now.
Yeah.
Fields definitely is not the perfect candidate to replace the sheriff.
What if they low key had a freak off in that little town? Low key. I'm just saying, too many big people involved. You got a judge and a sheriff and deputies. Just saying, they could have little old in that little town trying to bring in some income. Just allegedly.
Explain that, Comedian 96. Where
All
did
right,
it come from,
you
bro?
say it's a judge, some deputies, and the judge, the sheriff, and the deputy.
Well, it was
right?
one deputy that was
One
doing
deputy.
wrong.
Right. So then you got the sheriff, then you got the judge, and then some girls.
Yeah.
And one of the girls was locked up.
She was a prisoner.
Right. She was a prisoner. Right. Somebody didn't get enough time. Who was that? And you said, Freddie G, you said that don't sound like a lot of time.
Okay.
Okay, who was that?
That was the deputy that he pretty much
That was
slapped
the
on the
bailiff.
wrist.
That was the
Slap on the
bailiff.
wrist. Okay, so now after you got the bailiff, okay, let's get even more interesting. This is just my
CSI thought.
my CSI opinionated animal thought. Yeah, you know. So
As long as you know.
so now you got the girl that's locked up. She in there straight. What's that prison show that be coming on with the girls on there? With
Don't know.
You don't remember the name of it? They had the orange jumpsuits. I can't
Orange is the
remember.
new black.
That is that one, yeah. She could be in there gathering the girls, and something didn't go right. All right, this is just allegedly. This is just my CSI thought. That's all. That's all I'm saying. It could have been over that. I don't know.
I still really
What are you
understand
talking
what you just
about?
said.
Look,
You didn't get to
all
the
I'm
point.
saying,
What
it
are you
could have been a
talking
low key country freak off.
Man, you lost me. Man.
Yeah,
For real.
I'm lost.
I was trying to make the
It was
show.
only one person that was doing wrong,
Well, he was freaking off.
and you saying that, and you're accusing the whole town of having a freak off.
Yeah, and then the judge probably got some, and then
Nah, the judge didn't.
he changed.
He
his
didn't
mind.
do that.
K
He didn't
Money,
do
yeah,
it.
your Bam Bam.
The Bam Bam stick gone.
I have it. It's just not in my possession right now.
Lord.
The Bam Bam stick
Brought in
gone.
next week for sure.
Yeah, we need to bring that back to the
I was
table.
trying to make the
Either
show.
that or you got to sit in the corner, Comedian 96.
I was trying to make the show like I was trying to build a story like they do in the story.
But you wasn't making sense.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Hey, this killing came less
Him
than
not
2
making
weeks.
sense makes sense. I'm sorry, K.
This killing came less than 2 weeks after Southeast Kentucky was rocked by a shooting at an interstate that wounded 5 people in Laurel County. And just 4 days ago, a Russell County deputy was killed in the line of duty, officials said. So
It's bleeding out into the streets now.
they trigger happy in Kentucky.
Wow.
Which before we even started the show, man, I didn't have any information in regards to why these guys were arguing in the chambers, and we were going to discuss what we thought they possibly could have been arguing about. But I appreciate you sharing that news with us, Slash, in regards to what the argument possibly could have been about. Because before that, I thought it was actually something dealing with possibly the upcoming election,
Politics and
because
stuff,
we are a divided country now.
Oh
Yeah.
So I can see that possibly being an
Definitely
issue, but
divided.
that really wasn't the case. But if you're in a position of power, the position is going to be respected for what it is, but we can't abuse these positions and try to take the law in our own hands and do what we feel is right, even if it is the right thing. Shooting someone is definitely never the solution to an argument being had. As adults, we should all be able to talk things out and come to a peaceful resolution. I hate a life was lost in this situation, especially in a small town like this here, because I can imagine that this is going to affect this town moving forward, and it's going to be traumatizing to that community. But again, my prayers go out to the judge and his family. I just want us all to just get along.
This concludes another True Tuesday episode, and be sure you tune in tomorrow for another episode of Women Wednesday with Freddie G. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Sky Podcast, Instagram and Facebook, The 52 Sky Podcast, and if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like and or subscribe. And to all my 52 Sky faithfuls, it may be new to you, but if you heard it here, then you know it's true.